The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to another QuoteWerks 101, our regular series of short training sessions helping you get the most out of QuoteWerks. And in this session, I'm going to cover some tips on making sure you don't miss those vital items on your sales quotations. Hello, my name is Tim Wilmot and my company, Wizard Systems. We're a specialist CRM system supplier who help mainly small and mid-sized organizations improve their sales productivity through the use of simple and affordable solutions like QuoteWerks. So this session will be about 10 minutes or so in duration, just a quick overview of these important tips. My company, Wizard Systems, we offer lots of training options, more extensive training options if you want to explore those with us. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got a question, please type that into the question box on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Also, this session is being recorded and you will get an email from our registration system with a link to the email that you can play back as you wish, and we'll put it on our YouTube channel as well. Please go to YouTube and Wizard Systems, all one word, and you'll see a whole list of other playlist of other useful QuoteWerks training videos just like this one. Just a little mention about Wizard Systems first of all before we dive into this session's topic. So we are a specialist supplier of CRM solutions. We've been doing a long time. We've been working with the QuoteWerks product now for nearly a couple of decades, where we provide a complete service around QuoteWerks, the actual software, upgrades, integrations, training, and all the ongoing support as well. So please contact us if you want to know more about QuoteWerks or getting more out of the QuoteWerks solution. Okay, let's dive into QuoteWerks then, and tips for making sure you include those vital items and you don't miss out important items, products and services on your quotation. So here is a new quotation, and the first method I want to explain, the first little tip I want to explain is more of a visual thing. So as a user selects products for a quotation, you'll be familiar, those of you that use QuoteWerks, you'll be familiar with the tree-like structure, the hierarchical structure of your products and services down this left-hand panel here, where visually at a glance we can see items and related items. So maybe by using this kind of visual structure, somebody could select something from the parent folder and then go to a child folder, a little subfolder off of that, and select other important related items to that. So that would be the first option that you could choose, to more of a visual way of making sure that you get those important items on your quotations. The next option, tip number 2, is to use a feature of QuoteWerks called required items. So this is where when you set up your items, and there must be some mandatory extra items, one or many other items that go with this key item, if you like, you can set up required items in QuoteWerks. So if I go to my products window again to look up a particular product, I select a product, let's say this one first on the list here, I select that and add that to the quotation and confirm that choice. I just close down that window. It brought in the main item there, the TV, but also it's brought in a required item, the remote. So using required items, when you set up your product, you'll see a little tab called required items. That's where you can go off and point to an existing item and associate that with the main item, if you like, or you can add new items on the fly. Let me just close down that little quote there. Tip number 3, use quote templates. So this is where, let's say you're regularly quoting for a group of items, and on the basis that this particular solution that you're providing, maybe there's loads and loads, there's many items on that normal quotation. And to prevent people forgetting things, why not have a large list that people need to remove items from, rather than letting them select one item, then going on to select a second item, then a third item? Why not put all those 3 items as an existing template? When you create a new quote, you're creating from the template, and then the user removes items that are not relevant or not valid for this particular solution or proposal. So what I mean is, you can go into create a new quote from a template, and I've got a couple of templates here. The user would select that. You give these templates meaningful names so we know what they are. You click OK, and that will automatically bring in multiple items. And then the user could quite simply select items that are not relevant and remove that from the quote. That would be another option to consider. Tip number 4, and this is my last tip. Tip number 4 is by using the product configurator. This is quite a really clever part. Let me just close down this quotation first of all and create a new quotation, brand new quote. So this is quite a clever part of QuoteWerks. Think of it like a flowchart. You're guiding the user down a journey, a sequence of steps. You're providing that user some helpful hints and tips along the way to create a solution for the customer, but there's some predefined steps that you're going through. So let me click on this configurator button there. It's always placed up there on the QuoteWerks toolbar, and you'll be displayed with the one or many product configurations that you've got right now. If I select this one, for example, this one's called an entertainment system, you'll see what I mean. It's going to take me through the sequence of steps, starting at the first step. What base unit, what key item are we wanting to choose first of all? So I've got 3 choices in this top window. I am provided as a user with some helpful hints and tips along the way, but I add that to the quote, and then I'm on step number 2 now. What's the next thing do you want to add to that base unit? So I would select that one and then keep going through the sequence of steps here. Step 3, and then now step 4. What receiver do you want? The user selects that. Maybe some additional speakers and a wiring system, and so on. So you're going through that complete, rather like a flow chart, a really easy way of guiding the user down through a particular route. Based on what they've chosen before, that's going to select that particular item for you, or give you a certain range of choices of items. So that's a ready-made quote created from that product configurator, and ensuring that we don't miss some vital items. Maybe you're selling a very complex solution or a technical solution, and there may be some elements that may not be compatible with other elements, or there are some mandatory items that need to go into a quote. So that's it. 4 tips then for getting the most out of QuoteWerks and making sure that you don't miss out those vital items, those vital products and services on your sales quotations. Hopefully that's been of use to you as a brief overview of those capabilities. Those listening live, you'll be familiar with the format. We now open out to any questions you may have around this feature. So please type those into the questions section on your meeting panel. Question from Daryl: how can I check previous quotes for missing items? Well, QuoteWerks always always records every single item in every single quote. It's recording, it's creating like a log, a transaction log of all these quotes. And built into QuoteWerks is a report writer. So it would be fairly easy to actually create a report based on certain parameters. Maybe you just want to look at a date range. Maybe you just want to home in on a particular user or salesperson and there see historically all of those quotes. Or maybe there's a certain product range. You can build in filters into that report so that every time you run it, it's just drilling down on the important things just to see what items may be missing there. Of course, something that we did cover on a previous session a few weeks back was quotation approval. So making sure that in your company you've got the appropriate approval mechanism. So if your margins are below a certain percentage figure, you can get QuoteWerks to automatically prevent that user sending out that quote until they get peer approval, until the quote's approved by a manager. So a few ways there, Daryl, of checking previous quotes there. Joe, can I hide required items and put them all together some way? If you mean the actual quote that goes to the customer, then yes. I mean, you've got the quote layout in QuoteWerks where you can define exactly whether these items are displayed, yes or no, or they're printed, yes or no. So yes, you can, and that can be individually or when you're grouping items together, you're bundling items together, you're grouping items together. Again, there you can actually hide the if you're actually sort of thinking about components of those miscellaneous required items, then yes, you can have just like a key headline description, and then all of the elements that build up that they can be hidden from the customer. Right, don't think any more questions are coming through there. Just to keep you up to date, as of late July 2020, all our training is online right now. If you've got any requirements for QuoteWerks training, please contact us for more information. We can organize a bespoke training course for you that will be delivered online, one-to-one session with one of our trainers. The latest version of QuoteWerks as of July 2020 is 5.5, and then there's builds within these versions. So we're currently on 5.13. You can always go to our blog, our website, or QuoteWerks.com for the latest build information. You can get updates for QuoteWerks by getting an upgrade maintenance program from Wizard Systems. So this is an annual fee, very low in cost, but ensures you get all those vital updates to QuoteWerks to make sure you're getting the most out of the solution. So hopefully that was of use to you on tips for making sure that you don't miss those vital items on your sales quotations. If you've got any ideas for future QuoteWerks topics, please email that to us or me, Tim at wizard-systems.com. There's all our other contact details. As a reminder, go up to our YouTube channel, or if you're watching this through YouTube as well, go to the QuoteWerks playlist and check those videos out. Please subscribe as well to get notifications of future training video releases. But we'll catch up with you same time next week. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.